we've also seen some players who look like they're going to flourish, like Brien, getting another goal. I mean, if he'd been in the team, or you're looking at like 5-6 goals a season from me.
He had a shot before that as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. But he's like one of those Easter Island heads, isn't he? He's just he's huge, but he can move. I'm like, I'd love to see him dance. Get him on Strictly.
Are they going to find his feet on the other side of the continent?
maybe, and that's why Dice wasn't picking him. But it's definitely kind of a more accurate depiction, I think, of where the squad is at, and there is so many areas. And like you say, Ped, gives the manager the chance to kind of have a look at some of these players coming back and see what he thinks of them, because he's not seen Dwight McNeil while he's been at the club. No. He doesn't really know much about Bros yet. Chimiti's the same. So if they can get in and just get some game time, and he can just have a look at them, and if they've got something to prove, then that can be beneficial for the last few games of the season for us.
And that's not his position. However, you wouldn't want to see him not in the side.
No.
So is there perhaps a sort of, a short to medium term plan with? I mean, ultimately he's a centre half, isn't he? Yeah. And one would assume that he will get his chance at some point. But in the meantime, you just feel like, even though he doesn't look like a right back and doesn't really feel like a right back, but you can't, you want him in there.
Do you not think that? See, I think he looks so comfortable at right back compared to, say, players like Mason Holgate or Ben Godfrey that we've seen put there. I think he looks so comfortable and actually can add something to the game. I remember when we played Newcastle at home, and Hall was playing left back, and how comfortable he looked and how good he was going forward. And I see similar in Jacob Brien. It's like he's such a good footballer, and I think sometimes we look at players and
maybe it's just because he's too big for.
Because he's too big. Yeah, you look at him and go, "There's no possible way he can be have the manoeuvrability of to play."
That's what I mean, and it's perhaps unfair because I'm basing it on nothing other than his physical.
You just height us, Dave. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's nothing other than just the way he physically looks. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, though, Newcastle in their best spell had Dan Burn at left back. Dan Burn's not a very good centre back. He just isn't. But left back, he's been brilliant for Newcastle, and that's when they got in the Champions League. That's where he played, and he get goals, and he was huge. And
I think it says a lot about the modern centre back, doesn't it? That they can manoeuvre. So I personally would have no problem with them playing right back next season if that meant Jared Brantwaite was still a centre back at Everton Football Club.